All right, let's talk about Doximity. The social network for doctors. We're going to break down their latest earnings call, focusing on what the CEO had to say. And trust me, while the numbers were big, the story behind them is even better.
So let's just start with the big question right off the bat. How on earth does a company like this, in the super complicated world of healthcare, pull off 23% year-over-year growth? I mean, those are numbers that would make a Silicon Valley giant jealous. So what's their secret? What's going on under the hood? Well, that's exactly what we're about to find out.
And look, to figure this out, we're going straight to the top. We're diving into the opening remarks from Doximity's CEO and co-founder, Jeff Tangney. He basically laid out a 3-act story for us: the money, the network, and their huge, huge push into AI.
And let's be super clear here. This wasn't just a good quarter. It was a blockbuster. They completely blew past their own guidance. And the engine driving all of this? A really sharp focus on programs optimized with artificial intelligence. This is a theme that's going to keep popping up, so keep it in mind.
But before we get totally lost in the cool AI stuff, let's talk numbers first. We're going to do a quick run-through of the key financials, because they really paint a picture of a company that's not just growing like crazy, but is also wildly profitable. First up, the top line. The company pulled in $169 million. That's up 23% from the year before. In today's market, a number like that really stands out. It shows you there's some serious sustained demand for what they're doing. And here's the thing. They're not just growing, they are turning that revenue into massive profit. An adjusted EBITDA margin of 60%, that is just incredibly high. It tells you their core business is a super efficient, super scalable machine. And what's more, that profitability is actually accelerating. It's growing even faster than their revenue, up 32%. So think about that for a second. As the company gets bigger, it's actually becoming more profitable on every dollar. That's the dream, right? And finally, let's talk cash. A 37% jump in free cash flow, that means this business is just a cash-generating machine. And that gives them a ton of freedom to pour money back into the company, maybe buy other companies, and just keep innovating without having to ask anyone for money. So you see these amazing numbers, right? But what's the engine behind it all? It's not just some software product. It's a deeply, deeply engaged network of hundreds of thousands of medical pros who use this stuff every day. And the engagement numbers, man, they tell a story. Their newsfeed, which is kind of their core social feature, hit a new all-time record for active prescribers. Great. Their workflow tools, things like telehealth, were used by over 650,000 different prescribers. That's huge. But then you get to this last one, AI tool usage grew over 50% in a single quarter. That's not growth, that's an explosion. That's a massive signal right there. And that signal, that explosion in AI usage, it leads us right to the heart of what Doximity is all about right now: artificial intelligence. They are not just playing around with it. They are baking it deep into their platform to create real, tangible value for doctors. And this is where it gets really, really interesting. The big move that really kicked their AI strategy into overdrive was buying a company called Pathway. And this wasn't just some small tech buy. You got to think of it as a fundamental upgrade to their entire AI brain. And here's what's just nuts: the speed. They didn't just buy Pathway and put it on a shelf. They acquired the company, integrated its entire medical dataset and AI models, and had it live across their platform in, get this, 7 weeks. That is lightning fast in the corporate world. So what did moving that fast actually get them? Well, according to the CEO, it gave them 2 major firsts in the medical AI space. Their tool now has a fully integrated drug reference, so doctors get instant peer-reviewed answers. And second, it gives them direct PDF access to over 2,000 medical journals without hitting a single paywall. For a busy doctor, that is an absolute game changer. But this AI stuff isn't just about looking up information faster. It's about solving one of the single biggest problems in medicine today: burnout. Doximity has this great mission statement for it. They want to end what doctors call pajama time. All those hours they spend after work, at home, just catching up on charting and paperwork. And it really seems to be working. Their AI tool, Doximity Scribe, helps with all that note-taking. The CEO shared this quote from a family doctor, and just listen to this. "I saw 22 patients today till 5 p.m. and was out of the office by 5:15. I mean, wow, that's not just making someone more efficient. That is literally giving a doctor their life back." So let's zoom out and bring this all home. You've got these incredible financials, a super engaged network of doctors, and this massive innovation in AI. It all points to a really clear vision for what the future of medicine could look like. Because in the end, this isn't about shiny new tech just for the sake of it. As the CEO wrapped up, he brought it back to something really simple. He said the company's North Star is just to build tools that help doctors do what they do best, provide better care by getting all that administrative junk out of their way. And that really leaves you with a pretty big thought, doesn't it? The CEO used that phrase, AI that gets you home in time for dinner. I mean, if technology can solve that fundamental, that human quality of life problem for clinicians, it just makes you wonder, what other massive, seemingly impossible problems in healthcare might be next?